Okay, so now we've set up our profile and we are at the landing page for LA Casting. What I want to do is take a moment here and warn you guys of the mistake that most actors make when I ask or any other agency asks for their LA Casting profile URL. Okay, there's two different ways that you can grab your URL. This right here, just grabbing talent.lacasting, is not the way to go. This is the link for when you've logged in. So when you send this link to me or anyone else, it's just going to take me to the login page. You don't want to give me your login info. Okay, so what I want to do is sort of explore here and find the correct way to get your custom URL and then subsequently how to email your resume to someone. So let's explore here for a second. Okay, perfect. So as you can see here, I've highlighted or moused over resume. So you have view resume, edit resume, add photo, media bin, and resume link. Okay, in order to create your custom URL, you're going to go ahead and click on resume link. It's perfect here. It's a singular page. Gonna zoom in, make that a little bit bigger for you so you can read it. And you can use this page to create a direct link to your casting network's profile. You can use this web address like http://www.lacasting.com/yourname, okay? If you haven't selected a resume link yet, use this form to create your link now. So what's happening right now is we are a brand new profile. We don't have a link set up. So this is where you can choose a name. What I would say to make it easy is to just use your first and last name. Remember, this is a link you're going to send to casting, to other agencies, to producers, to directors, so you want to be professional, okay? So, Big Booty 74 is probably not the correct name for you. I mean, unless that's your thing, no judgment, but you might just want to go with something really simple, okay? Okay, once you've clicked create link, you'll now see your resume link is located at lacasting.com/the Jackson Agency. You have selected the Jackson Agency as your resume link. If you would like, you can change your resume link. So if something happens and say your URL isn't available or something changes, maybe you change your last name or maybe you just want to go by your first name, you can type that in here and try to change your link and see if it's available, okay? So let's see. I'll try to choose a name that I think probably wouldn't be available. Change link. Okay. So I chose Tony. As you can see, it returned with the result that this link is already in use. Please choose another. Okay? So that is how you create your custom URL on LA Casting. And you can even click here, as you can see with the one that we already created. When you click on it, it's going to open a new tab. And you'll see up here it has lacasting.com/Jackson Agency. And as soon as it loads, it will show you your profile from the outside. Okay, so as you can see here, it has the Jackson Agency's info and then it has other representation. If you go back to the previous video where we were setting up our profile and I told you about how what you type in here will display on the page, but that does not mean your profile is assigned to an agency, this is exactly what I was speaking about. This right here, if you remember, I typed in the Jackson Agency, I chose that the area of representation was commercial, and I put in the phone number. This is where it has other representation. So when you guys do your self-submits and you've typed this in and you're not tied to an agency, like say you have a manager who isn't on LA Casting, but you want their information on your resume so that someone can call them to try to book you, that's what this is. You can put, and you can fiddle with it. You can just put whatever you want here. It'll display here as other representation. As you can see here, this portion here where it has the true contact info, this means the profile is assigned to an agency, as you can see, and then the agency logo pops up there as well. This is how we can tell whether or not you truly have representation. This is not indicative or accurate of representation that you have unless you have, two different sets of profiles. When I see this with an agency's name and I see that logo, then I know that you really do have representation and you are tied to that person. Okay, this link doesn't require anyone to log in. Okay, so if you go and create your custom URL, you can look at this yourself without being logged into LA Casting. this is how your resume displays to the world. And as we continue with these videos, I'll show you, we're going to build this sucker up from scratch all the way through. Even though I have no special skills, I need to fix that. Okay, so here's your custom URL. You just go to resume link. It takes you to this page. In fact, if I were to click on here and go there again, it takes me back to the page and it says, hey, I already have a link here. If I want to change the link here, if you didn't have a link, it'll tell you, okay, type in here to set up your link, okay? Pretty easy. Now, let's see how we can, here we go. So, one of the easiest ways too, the reason why I suggest a custom URL is that once you have your resume, you see this share button here, you can click email. And so when I sent a message back to some of you telling you that, the talent common link, that this link was not accurate, the common link, you need to go into your resume and hit share and go to email. If you do that, it's going to open up this box. And you're going to type the recipient's email address and the recipient's name, okay? And then it's going to populate with your name and your email address. You want to make sure everything in here is correctly entered, because when the profile gets emailed, it gets emailed from like a generic account at LA Casting, and then it'll have a reply to that's sort of hidden. So if you have fudged your email or maybe forgot to put the M in .com or something like that, when someone goes to reply, it's going to bounce back, okay? You can change the subject to be like, my LA Casting resume or per your request, or you can just leave it as it is. It'll by default put your name in there and then headshot and resume, like this is what it does. And then in here, sometimes when I say, in the message, in the note, put your email address and your phone number. And so that's where you can just type in here your email address and subsequently your phone number. Okay? And you can say thank you for your consideration. Okay, and that's pretty much what it does. And then they have at the bottom, they say, please note, if the email address you enter is incorrect, the recipient will never receive the resume. This utility generates an email with a link to the last selected resume. Okay, so I'll kick this out and then I'll show you guys what this looks like later. What I need to do is figure out, if I click on view resume, is this the same situation? Okay, yeah. If you click on view resume, the same thing. You can get right there to share via email, okay? So you have two really simple ways. They all involve resume. You can view your resume and hit share and type in the person's email address, or you can do your resume link and create your custom URL, okay? Really simple, takes less than 5 minutes to do.